From peace in South Africa to marine conservation, Monty Halls has rarely been short of a mission. The former Royal Marine, who's since become a public figure through his writing and TV work, is about to be on our screens again with the third in his Great Escape series. We'll talk to him in a moment, but first, here's a preview.
The real wilderness is out there. Huge animals, the giants of the sea, come to visit Connemara. And it's great to see them, but it's even better to contribute to their conservation by providing data.
Monty, welcome. That's Monty Hall's Great Irish Escape, isn't it? What did you set out to do with that?
Well, that one was fairly simple, really, in that we had a set job to do when we were out there, which was slightly different to the other ones, where I almost had to create work for myself. This one I was working as a whale and dolphin conservation officer up and down the west coast of Ireland, which, as you can imagine, is a dream come true, really. And
some of that work actually involved monitoring basking whales. Let's see you at work.
This is probably the most exciting moment of my entire miserable life. This is the one. I've got a good feeling about this. It's got your name on it.
So tell me what you managed to achieve. Was it as moving as you
It really was. I mean, if you can imagine going up to a massive shark 20, 25 feet long in a speedboat with a pointy broomstick, trying to stick a tag in it. Because, you know, we know nothing about these animals. And it's extraordinary that we get these huge aggregations of the second largest fish in the sea.
You got it, didn't you?
I did, after many, many attempts. That's carefully edited, believe me. But yeah, we still know nothing about these animals, and they turn up around the coast of the UK and Ireland in greater numbers than pretty much anywhere else in the world. They're the same length and weight as a double-decker bus, these sharks. Wow. And so, yeah, we were sticking these plastic tags in them and trying to figure out where they go, really.
I mentioned earlier that in your previous life as a Royal Marine, you were involved in the peace process in South Africa, and that involved retraining guerrillas to become part of the South African Army. Is there a common thread at all in the kind of work you did before and the work you're doing now?
Yeah, I think you know, anyone in the armed forces, you're taught how to deal with difficult environments, and I think you get a skill set that makes you quite aim-driven, and you feel you can overcome most of the problems.
And you're certainly tough, and you have to be in what you're doing now.
Well, you know, not nowadays. I'm a duvet-loving, flat-screen watching sofa boy nowadays. But yeah, you know, I think that was an interesting time. You know, a historic time in South African history. And Mandela did an incredible job, and it was very difficult, obviously, getting this guerrilla army.
Did you meet him?
I met him very briefly. I met him for about 30 seconds or so. I like to think I made an impression.
Do you remember what he said?
He didn't even talk to me. Just walked straight past. Just went like that as he walked past. So, but amazing guy, obviously.
What have you learned from your experience on this particular filming trip?
I think the Irish thing is, you know, it was very similar to both of the Scottish series, and indeed all the other travels as well, the expeditions, is that really pretty much everywhere you go, most people are the same, and most people will take care of you and look after you. And I think if you go there and act with a level of humility and ask questions and things, people will really take you on board. And if anything, yeah, the sort of kindness of strangers, I think, is the overriding impression.
What do your former service colleagues make of what you do now? What do they say to you?
Oh, they think I'm a freeloading media, you know, complete girl's blouse, basically. I get torrents of abuse because they're off doing real work and I'm doing this.
But what was interesting, you told me earlier, before you came on, that you were actually part of the round of redundancies back in the early 90s.
I was,
and look what happened to you now. So there is a message of hope there for some people.
Oh, definitely. I think the services do give you a skill set that's really transferable to Civvy Street. And I didn't really know what I wanted to do when I left. I had an idea, but I didn't really know. But those general skills of sort of determination and discipline and all the other odds and bobs, they really do count in the civilian sector, I think. And it took me a little while. I was in the wilderness for a while, but then gradually things started to take shape.